It's been exactly 2 months and 2 weeks since some Rastafarians decided to take on one of Ghana's elite schools, I'm referring to Achimota, for their failure to admit them into the school. The reason? Well, they didn't want to conform to the rules of the school on grounds of religion. This week, the issue which has spanned this long eventually was heard in the High Court, and the court ruled in the favor of the Rastafarians. Now, the ruling was that the Achimota School is supposed to admit the students. Today, we have with us one of the fathers of the students who was refused admission in Achimota School. My name is Lord Harris Udasari, and welcome to another edition of Say It Loud. When we return from the break, we introduce our guest. Welcome back. This is Say It Loud. I am Lord Harris Udasari, and today our guest is the father of Nkarabea and Nkrabea. His name is Aswad. Russ.
Blessed, my brother. Greetings.
Welcome.
Yeah,
Greetings to you too. Good to have you here.
Thank you.
Now, let's just get straight to it. What was running through your head when the judge was about to read the ruling?
Well, you know, the whole process was very long. So she started off with different aspects of it. She even went into the Rastafari faith and its tenets.
Okay.
I didn't recognize that she understood much about it, yeah. And then she went into the history of the school from way back, coming up to this time. She also dealt with the different precedents in different countries, you know, different cases that they have won victory for the same issue.
Okay.
Individually, she went through all of those. So it took a process, so it wasn't sudden. But I wasn't surprised that she would have come to that verdict because of the fact that from the beginning she showed a certain amount of consistency by saying that she wants to expedite the case so that the children will not suffer. And the reason why she wants to do it because it is bordered on rights.
Okay.
So she wanted to ensure that the rights are not violated. So from seeing how she was approaching it from that time, I wasn't surprised that the verdict was there, but I was very pleased and touched and moved by it. Yeah.
You said you were a bit surprised when she was giving the tenets of the faith and all that.
Yeah, I was surprised that she had so much information available.
Okay.
You know, and she seems very familiar with it. It's not like something that she was just reading. You know, like she was very familiar with the subject.
So what was your instant reaction when she said the last word of the judgment?
Yes, I mean, it was a sigh of relief. One, because we have been toiling with this issue for the longest while. And my son was right there, Tyron was on the other side. And I was more feeling it for them. Because I wasn't sure how they would have reacted if it had gone the other way. But when it went that way, I was really happy because of the fact that as children, they, you know, learned that when there's an issue, you should stand up and fight it to its ultimate to ensure that you get rights and justice. And I was very, you know, appreciative of that.
I see. At some point during the entire proceeding, journalists were made to go out. They weren't allowed to cover it. Yeah. So go ahead and tell us exactly what was contained in the judgments. What was it all about?
You mean the different...
The ruling that the judge gave. What was... Give us some details.
Well, I may not have all the details right now to give you because it's just so much.
Some brief summary of it.
Yeah, basically what she was saying is that, you know, the school rules shouldn't be above the Constitution, right? And she made a point that how could they even think that, you know, they can establish a school rule which would tell the child based on his religion to cut his locks, right?
Okay.
And the whole issue of the fact that a document wasn't signed according to what they were saying, that his application wasn't submitted to the school. And the question arose wherein how could that be submitted to the school when you put a blockade to prevent the child from coming in the school.
Okay.
And those rules that are inside the school is really supposed to be applied to students who have been admitted to the school.
That's true.
Not for
Okay.
yeah.
Okay. But they haven't even been admitted
They
yet.
have been admitted.
So that
You're
doesn't
applying
apply.
those rules about here and stuff like that.
Okay. What would have been your next step if the ruling hadn't gone your way? Let's say the judge had said that
Would have
you should
appealed.
cut.
Yeah, would have
cut the
appealed
hair
it, would have
or-
took it to the higher court and battle it from there. You know, because we were going by the Constitution and recognize that the Constitution had given that right. So if we have to take it to the next level to get justice, would have done that.
I see. So you're prepared to
I was prepared
take it all the way.
Yes, I even told my son that, look, if we have to appeal, it means that you have to go into another school right now, right? If we have to appeal it, you have to go into a school immediately, because this may be a long drawn out process.
That's true. Okay.
So I was preparing him for that.
I see. Now, about that, some persons, including veteran journalist Kwesi Pratt, have
Yeah.
proposed that your child or
Yeah.
you take them to a different school. Is this something you're looking at?
I was listening to what, reading what Mr. Pratt, Comrade Chris Pratt said.
Yeah.
And, you know, he has a sentiment of so many Ghanaians, maybe 75, 85, maybe even 90% of Ghanaians feeling that same way based on the behavior of the authorities and the kind of threats and you know, bitterness that has been shown to these children. You know, so I think they have a valid point that way, but I haven't finally decided yet what I'm going to do, because I even, you know, heard that the Attorney General is going to make a presentation this evening, 5:30. I'm sorry, the Minister of Education,
Okay.
5:30. So I'm waiting to hear about that. Then I also heard that the Attorney General came in and made a statement today strongly that the school, you know, has no right or jurisdiction to go over the ruling that took place.
Okay.
So it's something to be considered. Today's almost finished. I will look into it tonight and see what is the next move.
Okay. We also had reports about Oheneba and Tyrone getting scholarships from several other schools. Is this something that you were
It wasn't.
considering?
No. It was rumors.
What happened to that?
Yeah, it was rumors, because so far we haven't seen the face of anyone. We haven't received no phone numbers. We haven't received no address. Nothing like that. It was just rumors spread. You know, it was spread in the media for what reason, I don't know.
So you didn't get any such thing?
No.
No scholarships from
no,
any school?
No, those are just passing comments as far as we are concerned, because we haven't seen anyone step up to the place and say, yes, I am ready to give a scholarship.
Oh, really?
Yeah, none.
When is Oheneba going to school? Oheneba and Tyrone, when are they going to school?
Well, we are preparing to put them in school tomorrow,
Which is Thursday.
which is Thursday. Yeah. Yeah.
And what course is he going to read? I'm referring to Oheneba.
He's doing general arts.
He's doing general arts. Okay,
Yeah.
I see. Tell me a little bit about Oheneba. How is he as a person?
Well, he has always been a very quiet, you know, very quiet, cool, calm person, you know, very collected. I mean, just as you see him on the television, he doesn't speak that much. And he's being the focus is on his work, you know, his school work or whatever work that he has to do, you know. But at the same time, he's very compassionate, you know, someone when you get him at the moment to really speak with him, you dialogue properly and make a lot of sense from the discourse.
Are you worried that he may be victimized or intimidated when he goes to school?
It's possible, but it's not going to be that easy, because of the fact that not just Ghanaians that are watching the school, not just the students, because there's a lot of students who disagree with the position of the school authorities. There are a lot of teachers in there that disagree. So it's not a simple thing as we may think it is, that the whole school is having some kind of hostility or whatever.
Okay.
But we are prepared to address whatever issues legally if it comes up, because the children, they'll be alert. They have, you know, from this, they have gotten some experience in terms of, you know, when issues come up, how to deal with it. So in the event of the school trying to do, I mean, some of the authorities, members of the authorities trying to do anything, you know, will be alert immediately. and then we'll take whatever legal action that we have to take.
I mean, apart from the school authorities, generally right now he's going to be under the microscope. Every
Yeah.
move of his
Yes.
is going to be monitored
Yes.
because it's
Yeah.
really blown. It's not even in Ghana alone. It's all over now.
Yes.
Don't you think he's going to be there's going to be an eagle eye on him now?
Oh, certainly. He will be
Even
under
among his
he will be
friends.
under the radar for 24/7. I agree with you. But I think he has the capacity to handle that situation.
Has it given him the extra motivation to, be more hardworking in school? I know he's a smart kid, but
Yes,
how is he
yes,
taking everything now?
Yes. No,
I'm sure his grades is going to be under scrutiny.
yeah.
Every move.
Yes, yeah. But you see, what happens is that this experience, has elevated him a certain kind of a way in his mind in terms of what needs to be done in an environment like this. Because what they have done so far is to let the child recognize that, look, you cannot mess up. You cannot do anything that is not, in order a certain kind of way. And you have to come way above the average to be able to be in that school because of the fact that the discrimination is there and they have shown it and so on. So he has to do his best. He has to be better than, what he would, would be thinking about before he decided to go to the school.
Mm-hmm. He comes off as a daddy's boy. Is that the case?
I would I wouldn't really say that. Really, I think it's more his mother. That.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
You think that's my mother's boy?
Yeah.
How is the family taking it? I mean, you said your bits and that's about him, but how about the other siblings and the mom?
Yeah, he has two
The
younger
entire family.
brothers.
Okay.
Oh, they are taking it very. I mean, they are watching, and I think they understand the issues very well, and they are affected. They are not so much affected by it.
Okay.
Because they are a little bit distant, but nonetheless, I think they are understanding the issue. The mother is beginning to understand why I decided in the beginning that we should fight this issue. Originally, in the beginning, she didn't want it to happen because of the exposure, all of the ridicule and the publicity and all of that. But eventually, she recognized it was the right thing.
And after the ruling, how is she taking it?
Oh, she's very, very excited. And, she felt like, she's feeling like it was worthwhile. Something that was very good to, put up a fight for.
Okay, we are going to take a quick break here.
Yes.
When we return, we are going to delve further into the conversation and how everything is going to pan out for Nkarabea and Tyron Magai as they go to the Achimota School. You are still watching Say It Loud. Please do stay. Thank you for staying. We are still talking about the Achimota and Rastafarian saga. Today we have with us in studio father of one of the students who was refused admission by the school in the person of Ras Aswad Nkrabea. Now, Ras, you were telling us about preparations for Nkarebea's school. Now, one of the grounds that, the main reason why the school didn't want to admit him in the first place was because of the locks and the concern about how he's going to keep it kept. Tell us, how do we keep locks kept so it doesn't look in,
Yeah, I was a little bit surprised that they would have even said something like that, because when they look at how his locks is so neat and tidy, it doesn't necessarily have to do anything else to it to go to the school, because that's how it keeps it all the while. But it's a regular routine. You wash your hair with shampoo and you oil the scalp on the outside and so on and so forth. Sometimes you may feel like leaving it, another time you may feel like tying it up.
Okay.
Just to make it look a little more presentable in some environments. You may cover it, like you see I have mine wrap, and some people may put on some other kind of covering on it. But it's not anything that is difficult to keep, Those who live around the beaches, they'll probably go to the beach maybe even 2-3 times a day. I'm sure almost every day. And those who live in the villages where there are rivers, waterfalls, and so on, they have access to it. They will go there even more often than us who live in the city.
Okay.
But, it is something that is taken care of on a regular basis, and oil, and not just any oil. There are special oils
Okay.
that we use, that has a certain amount of nutrients and values in it that will, keep the air a certain kind
And
of
the
way.
omega
Yeah.
oils and all that.
Yeah, exactly. So it's not something that people just think, you don't care for it, and they don't understand the reason why sometimes it gets brown. It gets brown because of the elements, the sun, the light,
Okay.
seawater. So before they used to look at it and say it is nasty, it is dirty, whatever, but they didn't understand that it is the element that changes the color
Okay.
and gives some part of it that brown color naturally. Now it has become a fashion where people go to the salon to get that kind of look,
That's true.
right?
Yeah.
And dreadlocks is now a fashion statement for even multinational corporations. You see, they are using dreadlocks to sell their products and their items, so on and so forth. So it is a little bit surprising that in a time like now, when it has gone mainstream basically in terms of being everywhere in the world as a fashion, for the authorities of Achimota School to get up now and say that one of the reasons why they don't want them in there is because of it may not be hygienic, and it may come with lice, and that's what one of the lawyers for the second respondent got up and said in court, and that just goes to show that we are right, that they are discriminatory, because how could you get up and say something like that when you don't know the child, you haven't gone close to the dreadlock to see if lice is inside there, but you are saying that those are some of the reasons why you wouldn't want them inside.
But is this something that has ever come up before?
People maybe at a distance may wonder because they are not familiar with it, so they have all kind of perception. But we have never been face to face with Oinaba and that or any of my sons with that issue. People have a lot of different vibes because they may think that person is aggressive or they smoke weed or they do this or they do whatever. And based on the false perception that is projected in the society, they keep their distance. They may think that you are mentally ill because they see the person who is mentally ill have the same hairstyle, but that's a person who is mentally ill and not washing the hair and doing so on and so forth. But when you can tell a clear difference between a real Rastafari and someone who is just walking the street aimless and probably mentally ill.
I see. And that is not going to be a problem for Ahinaba when he's in school. I mean, maintaining his hair.
No,
keeping it kempt.
He's not a board. He's not going to be a boarder.
He's not going to be a boarder?
No.
Ever?
No.
He's going to be a day student from
yes.
SHS 1 to
Exactly.
SHS 3 or 4.
Exactly. So that's not going to be issue because he's a vegetarian. So I could not even allow him to board in that school because I would have problem preparing his meal.
Okay.
There'd be so many, and that's what been happening in the past. It was difficult to prepare his meal at the other schools because the people, they don't understand how to do the vegetarian food a certain kind of way. So we always, prepare his meal from home.
I see. Does it bother you though, looking at what he's had to endure?
Yeah.
Everything that has transpired from when the issue started. We are in June now. It started somewhere in April. How do you feel about it?
I think it is.
And how it can affect him even as young as he is.
I think it's affecting him in a more positive way than negative.
Oh really?
Yeah, it is strengthening his character. It is giving him an opportunity to, actually engage with these challenges, these real challenges in life. I mean, growing dreadlocks from way back ancient time has always I've had that kind of challenge. Even when you read the Bible and you see different characters who, based on their dreadlocks, they go through different challenges, right? So it comes with that, it's part of the terrain of being Rastafari, is that you grow that kind of strength to endure certain things. And there are those who, they will love you with a passion for it, and there are those who will hate you equally the same way. So you have to find a balance between both. Like, for instance, when I walk the street, I get a lot of respect in Ghana. Rastafari, honorable, righteous. Very positive words that come from the reggae music. This is how they greet you in the street, right? And there are those now who don't like you, they won't say anything or they will look at you with scorn or whatever. So you get to understand that the world is like that.
I see. And when you look at all that, I mean, everything that you've said now, looking at how long he stayed in the house, how is he going to catch up? Because he's missed out on a lot.
Yeah, it's not a problem for him. You know, a greater part of Oyinba's life in his earlier life, he was homeschooled.
Oh,
Yeah, he only came out when he was about maybe 11. So maybe 10.
so maybe when you got to
All
grade
those
grade
years,
3,
yeah,
grade 4, that's when
yeah, all those years he was homeschooling. He was doing homeschooling.
So when this issue started, were you homeschooling him? Was
No,
was
no,
he
no.
learning to
No, he was in
make
school.
up
He has been to about 2 or 3 schools.
during this period when this
Yeah,
saga started?
yeah, before that, yeah. So you know, to learn or have your lessons in at home is not a problem for him because he's used to doing that.
Okay, so you can learn fast and catch up with the.
Yeah. So now they are even preparing to be ahead of the school because when you do homeschooling, it prepares you ahead of the general curriculum because it cuts out all of the unnecessary things that they teach you in school and send you straight to the subject, the essence of it,
Okay,
right?
okay.
So it puts you ahead. Most of the homeschoolers, they tend to do much better than the one that goes to school.
I see. You mentioned that everything that has happened so far has made him a stronger person. He's taking the positives of it, but that's the observation you have made. Have you spoken to him? What has he told you so far?
In terms of speaking to him, I mean, we dialogue over the issue.
When was the last time you spoke father to son about this?
About the issue?
Yes.
It was yesterday.
Okay.
Yeah, it was yesterday. You know, analyzing what took place.
What did you ask him? Give me how it played out.
What a blow by blow.
Yeah, you get it.
Yeah, you know, I was saying we were talking about the issue of the fact that they have to endure all of this. So this one was more an endurance because he was trying to figure out now. So when we're gonna go back to school.
So it was like a family meeting, not a father, or just you and him. Okay.
Yeah. I was saying, when is he going to go back to school now? And I was telling him, you know, as we told you before, that when this case finished, because we knew it was going to be short, because the judge kept saying that she's going to expedite it.
Okay.
So as soon as this finished, then we will decide to see exactly, we'll decide on exactly what to do, to, you know, to put you into another school, or it may go this way where you still go to the same Achimota. So we're discussing, you know, all of that options and then the challenges that came and the glory that came as well. So we're looking into all those things.
Okay. I see. And what did he say?
Well, I mean, he was very appreciative of it. He was saying, well, he's happy that he have had that experience, you know, to see, because I have been an activist all of my life, basically, and I used to take them to a lot of these activism, like, for instance, the anti-GMO struggle with food sovereignty Ghana. That's our our movement, and from they were very small, they have been on the front line with us, on the street, into these meetings, so on and so forth.
Oh,
They have
okay.
been a
So he's
part
very
of it.
active.
They understand the activism in that sense.
I see.
So this isn't like another campaign for them, seeing it and being a part of it. It's like a campaign.
Okay.
That's how it is for me. And that's why the school is so surprised that it happened like, because it became a campaign.
I see. Would you have still gone further with this approach if it was any other school?
Once they were violating the rights of the child, yes, I would have taken it the same way.
So throughout his journey as a pupil, as a student, you never met any friction or tension as far as his health is concerned?
No. All the schools.
The basic school that he, junior high school,
there
nothing like
no
that?
No problem with the dreadlocks. That's why I was surprised that when they were talking about floodgate, right? And if you want to find out if there'll be any floodgate, go to those schools that those children went, including Tyrone, and see if there was any floodgate there when they were there, because they accepted them there. All the schools that Rastafarian children have been, there was no floodgate. There was nothing like what they're trying to say. Once they accept them in there, it's going to encourage other people to come. You're going to have this one, you're going to have that one. It's not real.
Did you continue to push this case because he still wanted to be in Achimota? Did he at any point say, come on, man, Dad, I'm tired. I don't want to do Achimota anymore. Let's just get some other school that will accept me?
In the last part, when the school was putting up that kind of a resistance, he wanted to go to another school. Just recently, he wanted to go to another school. But for me personally, my issue was more on the rights of the fact that he has a right to be into any school that he desired to be in Ghana, especially if it's a government school. So for me, it is probably a little bit different than how you would be seeing it. But he was, you know, fighting to be in the school because, you know, they heard so much about that school and, you know, looking forward to be there. And granted, the school has a good reputation in a sense for, you know, those who have passed through there and have become very important people in the society.
Okay. So, on the back of this, were you disappointed when you heard that Achimota School is thinking about appealing the court's decision?
No, I wasn't surprised. I wasn't disappointed or surprised because of the fact that that's their trademark. When the GES made that U-turn, it was the same school who caused that to happen. You know, it was the same board and that guy, Angel Cabano or whatever his name is.
Angel Cabano.
Yeah. It was that same group of people who caused the GES to make that U-turn. So for them to come now and do this, it's not surprising. And I think they also have a right to do it based on the Constitution. If something happens in court and you don't like it, you appeal it. And that is what they're doing. So I wasn't really surprised about that. I was more a little bit taken aback a little bit that they decided to move so quick to try and do it. But that is all.
Okay. Now, in the event of all this, I know a number of known personalities, prominent Ghanaians who have Achimota School as their alma mater have come out and back your stance. Have you gotten anything from perhaps some people who are still in the school? I'm referring to maybe some of the teachers.
No, I haven't been speaking with any. There's even a dreadlock teacher in there. And she has children, and the children have dreadlocks and they cannot go to that school.
A teacher of Achimota with dreadlocks, but the children cannot attend Achimota.
Children have dreadlocks and they cannot go to Achimota School.
You know this how?
Huh?
How do you know this?
Oh, I went, the same day when I went to take her anybody, she was the one who came and said they may not accept him in school.
She gave you heads up?
Yeah, but she said, oh, go ahead and try anyway. You can never tell.
After the court ruled in your favor, have you heard anything from her? Has there been any interaction?
I haven't been back over the school. I haven't been, I'll try to keep her out of it one and to just let the natural process take its course. Yeah.
Okay. Do you see or feel like this is a win with the ruling?
Yeah.
I mean, taking the appeal attempts by the school aside, do you feel that the court's ruling for Nkarabea and Taiwan to be admitted into the school, do you see it as a win?
It's massive. It's a massive victory and it's a massive win in many different ways, because from now on, whenever there's going to be any issue in court concerning children's rights as regards to their religion, their culture, so on and so forth, it will become a precedent for generations and generations to come, and they will be using them as an example in court, just like the judge did with the South Africa case and the Kenya case and so on. So they have gone down in history as, individuals who fought for some rights in Ghana.
So you feel that they have, or you feel that you have sacrificed for future Rastafarians in Ghana?
Yeah, definitely, because when I just came here, and even up until recently, there was a whole lot of issues, so many issues, even the DVLA at once refused to take the pictures of Rastafarians to give them their license.
They were also asking you to cut your hair before you take a picture?
Yes, they refused. And even there was a gentleman who told me he went to the immigration and showed them immigration, the passport picture. And they refused to process him because of his dreadlocks. Ghanaian. So it happens on so many different levels. And I've always wondered why nobody is prepared to actually challenge the system.
So does that mean that you don't have a driver's license, you don't have a passport?
Yes, exactly. That's what it means.
You don't?
Me?
Yeah.
Yeah, I do.
How did you?
I mean, I went the normal way and got it. But what I'm saying is that they have done that to individuals who they can get away with that, you know, with. Yeah, so, but I'm saying now, these little this discrimination have been going on for long in the system, you know. And I was always wondering, why don't they just take these people to court and teach them a lesson so that, you know, all of this will stop.
You won the case against, I mean, before, we don't know how the appeal will go, but as it stands now, we know you've won the case. You are to Nrabea and Taona to be admitted into the school, so that's a victory.
Yeah.
Moving on, is this going to be a foundation or a stepping stone for you to tackle other issues that you feel you have marginalized?
You're right. We have already set up a foundation called MAAT.
MAAT?
Yeah, M-A-A-T.
Okay.
MAAT. Social, Political and Environmental Justice Foundation. It's for that same purpose. It's for those who are disenfranchised, who have been discriminated against, and for the destruction of the environment and so on and so forth. And this foundation was inspired by what these children is going through right now. And we hope that they will take it up themselves as ambassadors and as advocates for rights and justice.
Okay, all right. Thank you so much, Mr. Aswad Nkrabea. What are your final words?
Oh, my final word is that Ghanaian children should, or not really children, I would say young people, should listen to what most people are saying today about fixing the country. Right? There's a lot of things here that needs to be fixed, and we are only talking about fixing it so that every one of us will benefit. And it doesn't have to do with any particular party, but just in general where the system is concerned. The youth must recognize that the only way that we can become much better is to pay attention to the social and political issues of the society and make your contribution there. And that is where this issue of comes in terms of fixing it. Whatever you see wrong that is out there, don't just be quiet. You should speak up and you should make moves to change it.
All right, thank you. So those are the final words of Father of Nrabea Nkrabea, one of the Rastafarian students who, by way of the court's ruling, is to finally go to school. I'm referring to the Achimota School. Yes, his father's name is Aswad Nkrabea. And that's it for this edition of Say It Loud with me, Lord Harris Idwasari. Do join us for our subsequent ones.